Look his face.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
He's special.
You can
The guy is special. Everything that could possibly be special about this guy is special. A guy like this is the type of guy that you love to watch and follow. The most special guy that I've ever come across.
Hello and welcome back to the Pedram Core Sports Show presented by Prospect Apparel. Today we are back with another breakdown. We've done two this year. Obviously, I missed the Lewis versus Spivak card. I did post my picks on Twitter, and I did say I was too busy to post, which I was, and you'll see why this weekend. If you follow Combat Sports UK's social media, you'll see why I've been really busy and sorting things out. I'm going to have loads of content coming your way. But this weekend, not only am I busy at Glory 83, we also have an awesome event, UFC284, Perth, Australia. First time UFC's been in Australia in a long time. And we have a fight that doesn't happen often. It's, we have a few double champ fights. We've had them before. But I think this is the highest level one in terms of technique, in terms of just everything. Number one versus number two, pound for pound, for the lightweight title. Islam Makhachev coming off an awesome performance against Charles Oliveira. Submitted the man with the most submissions in the UFC in October now, defending his belt against the number one pound for pound, the featherweight champion, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. And, I have so much respect for Volkanovski moving up to fight a guy that no one wanted to fight on his way up. Islam was so avoided on his way up through the division. That's why you look at the resume, and it's not the strongest resume. There was a lot of talk when he was going to fight Charles. Charles has a much better resume. I would argue Alexander Volkanovski has a better resume. Islam Makhachev, his wins are aging well. Drew Dober win, now he is on a 3-fight knockout streak, which has just been ridiculous, knocking out Terrence McKinney, knocking out Rafael Alves, and most recently knocking out Bobby Green. Bobby Green was out cold. That was a very impressive knockout in a fight that wasn't trending his way. But right back, Islam, his most recent win before the Charles win was Bobby Green short nose. That was supposed to be Beneil Dariush, which that fight can still end up happening if he can beat Alexander Volkanovski. Beneil Dariush will most likely be his first title defense if Beneil can get past Charles Oliveira. In, I believe, April is when that fight's being made. But back to this fight. This fight is a super fight of the ages. You do not want to miss it. Islam versus Volkanovski. Islam clear advantages in the size, 5'10" versus 5'6", and a clear advantage, or not necessarily clear, I would say, but it's clear where his skill set lies, and that is the ground game. The Dagestani wrestling. It's a story as old as time. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov camp, the AKA Dagestan mix, they've been around for so long. Well, I won't say for so long, but Khabib really put that in the spotlight, and now we have the emergence of Usman Nurmagomedov in Bellator lightweight champion. We have Umar Nurmagomedov, who is one of my favorite prospects right now, as we talked about at the beginning of the year, the first card, the Strickland versus Imavov card. But Islam, I'm on the fence with him. I mean, he's very good. Don't get me wrong. He is very good, but his stand-up is my question mark in this fight. Volkanovski, for me, has the clear advantage in the stand-up. I mean, the way he outboxed Holloway, the way he beat up Brian Ortega, the way he dismantled the Korean Zombie. Obviously, Korean Zombie a little bit past his prime, but still, no one did that to him. Even Brian Ortega, who also beat Korean Zombie up. Not like that. That was special. That was a special performance, and people discredit Volkanovski for that all the time. But I think that's his second best, or no, I'll say third best win. I think Holloway 3 is his best win, and Holloway 1 is also an amazing performance. If Volkanovski, who's been working with Craig Jones, can stop the takedowns, or at least get back up quickly, I think Islam will get flustered by that. I've listened to all their interviews. Islam is supremely confident, but so is Volkanovski. But if Volkanovski can't get up or can't defend the takedowns, Islam will find a finish. He is a finisher. He is a killer. And, he's saying, oh, I want to knock Volkanovski out. No, he's not going to do that. I think if he wants to do that, he'll receive a jab to the face from Volkanovski, a couple shots, and be like, okay, no, I need to take this to the ground. And it'll be very interesting. I think once we get past the first 3 rounds, that's where I think it's going to be interesting. Where's this fight at 3 rounds? Is Islam Makhachev up 3 rounds, dominating the fight? Well, then he'll probably hold on for the last two. If Volkanovski is having success, it could be 2-1 Islam, 2-1 Volkanovski. That makes it interesting. And, when Volkanovski has momentum, he is unstoppable. You look at the Holloway 2 fight, he was down 2 rounds. He had been knocked down twice. Comes back and wins the last 3 rounds. Some say controversial. I thought it was a win for him. It's just so impressive the way he can do it. And that's why I just can't pick against Volkanovski. I've never picked against him. I just can't pick against him. No disrespect to Islam Makhachev. I think he is one of the best in the world right now. And, I don't see anyone in the lightweight division beating him. Maybe Beneil gives him a tough one, but I think he beats Poirier. I think if he rematches Oliveira, beats Oliveira. The only one that I say can give him big trouble is a man he's already fought and beaten, which is Arman Tsarukyan. But Sarukyan's got a long way to go before he gets his title shot. I would say another 3-4 fights. Maybe Chandler. But Chandler's got McGregor. No, depends on. I'm just curious to see where he's at. But my prediction is Alexander Volkanovski. I think he TKOs him in round 4. I'll be honest. I think he gets a TKO. I think the first 2 rounds are going to go Islam's way, but then Volkanovski starts turning it on its head. I think he's going to sit Islam down. It's going to be called. I'm going with Volkanovski by knockout. Maybe not a knockout call, but a TKO. Round 4. Moving on to our awesome co-main event in the featherweight division for the featherweight interim title, not Federgewicht, that is German. Yair Rodriguez, freak athlete, versus a guy that's been underrated for so long, a guy with dynamite in his hands, maybe the most power in the featherweight division. Ilia Topuria, you can say, maybe has more power than him. But Josh Emmett, man, recently he's put it together since losing to Jeremy Stevens. Beating Cater last time out, I mean, that was a close fight, but he had success in that fight. The way he knocked out Michael Johnson, the way he knocked out Ricardo Lamas, the way he dropped Shane Burgos over and over and over again. Just so impressive. But Yair, man. Yair coming off a layoff, coming in, being so competitive with Holloway. Obviously, last time out, the shoulder injury to Brian Ortega. He was winning that fight. He was putting it on Brian Ortega. I really like Brian Ortega, but he was putting it on Ortega. He was putting it on him on the stand-up. And he somewhat forced the dislocation. That was an armbar. Or at least an attempt at it, which kind of, Brian maybe hastily slid out of it, dislocated his own shoulder. A win's a win. Yair Rodriguez, Josh Emmett. I am going to keep it short and sweet because I went on for 6 minutes about Volkanovski. I'm going with Yair Rodriguez. 3rd round TKO, KO. I'm not sure. Maybe from a head kick. Maybe I think he's coming from a right hand. I think he has underrated power. I think he's going to catch him with a kick and sit him down. I think Josh Emmett's still very good, still one of the best in the world. I'd love to see him versus Arnold Allen. That's a fight I would really, really like to see. But that's where my head's at. Yair Rodriguez versus via TKO. And then him and Volkanovski going at it for the featherweight strap once Volkanovski is done with the Makhachev lightweight chapter. This next one, a battle of prospects. What a fight. Jack Della Maddalena. Man, 3-0 in the UFC, 3 first-round knockouts, and they're all amazing. Pete Rodriguez, Ramazan Ameev, and last time out against Robertson. Man, that was so impressive. His boxing is one of the best in the UFC. You see that broken nose on him, man. That just shows how tough he is. If you watch his Contender Series fight against Angelosa, dude is good, man. He's really good. Randy Brown, veteran in the UFC. I believe he has 10 fights in the UFC. Very good. Very lengthy, as you can see, 6'3" versus 5'11". That's going to be interesting. 78-inch reach, 73-inch reach. It's going to be interesting. But Randy Brown has issues with his defense sometimes, and that's where I lean Jack putting him down. And Randy, when he gets caught, he gets a little flustered sometimes. I'm going with the Jack Della Matta first round TKO. I think this Maddalena train keeps going. I love Maddalena. I love his style, and I think he keeps going. I would love to see him crack into the top 15, and this is how he gets in the top 15. Love to see him versus Jake Matthews. I know it's countryman. That's a fight I'd like to see. I like to see him get in the 10-15 range. Maybe Michelle Pereira. That would be a very fun fight. But yeah, Jack Dillon Maddalena, first round TKO. But no disrespect to Randy Brown. I still think he is very good. I think Jack Dillon Maddalena is just one of the best in the world. It's a matter of time before he gets in the top 5. Moving on to this fight. This fight is a fun one. Sloppy heavyweight battles. Don't we love them? Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. Parker Porter, man. Coming off of the rough one against Jailton Almeida, that was a tough fight, but Jailton, I mean, he's shown he is one of the best in the world. You can see they're pretty much even in every single stat. Parker Porter has a 1-inch reach advantage, same height, and they're big boys. They come in at the heavyweight limit. I'm struggling on this one, man. Justin Tafa, I believe last time out he head kicked his way to a win. He's sneaky athletic for a big guy. 5-3. Had a tough go in the UFC. Parker Porter 13-7. This one's tough, man. I think it's going to go to a decision. If Parker Porter wins, it's going to a decision. If Justin Tafa wins, I think he will find a TKO early. Can he find it though? I'm going with Parker Porter decision. I hate to pick against countrymen in their own country because I feel bad, and that's, I think that's why I'm swaying Volkanovski as well, as I said before. But going Parker Porter by decision, I think it's gonna be a sloppy heavyweight fight. It's gonna be an odd one, but it's gonna be fun. And the main card opener between two prospects, Jimmy Crute on the tough end of 2 straight losses. Jamal Hill, obviously, not a bad aging loss. I mean, now the light heavyweight champion of the world. And to Anthony Smith because his leg gave out on a perennial nerve kick. These things happen in MMA. I think Jimmy Crute is still really good. I would love to see him implement his wrestling more. Alonzo Menefeld has really come into his own recently. The Morozov win, that's one of the most odd storylines of the year. Who knows what he's doing? Has he changed his name again? New record? I don't know what's going on with him, but Alonzo took him out in the first round. And Misha Serkinov in the first round as well. Very good fighter, very good prospect, but I think Jimmy Crute, I think he's being underrated now. I think he's going to come in with a lot of motivation. Home country. It's been a while since he fought. I believe it's been a year since he fought. Maybe might have been. It might be longer since he fought Jamal Hill, because Jamal Hill, around a year ago to the date, he knocked out Johnny Walker. I think it's, man, it might be a year and a few months since he last fought. So I think he's been in the lab just working away. I'm going with the Jimmy Crute first round submission. I think he's going to find his trademark Kimura arm submission. It's going to be quick. I know I've picked a lot of early knockouts with Crute and Jack Della Maddalena. So running back through the picks so you don't have to rewind. Volk, 4th round TKO. Yair, 3rd round TKO. Parker Porter, decision. Jack Della Maddalena, 1st round TKO. And Jimmy Crute, 1st round submission. Could be 2nd round. I think he's going to find it pretty quick because he's going to be so motivated. But there's my picks. I would love to see what you guys think. DM me on Twitter. I respond all the time. At me on Twitter. I mean, I don't have that many followers, so probably won't happen. You can see my social medias down below the screen. Gonna be great event. Tune in for sure. And keep an eye on Combat Sports UK social media for my work with Glory 83. Also an awesome event, but I've talked enough about that. My mouth is drying out because I've talked too much. This has gone on for 14 minutes. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Check out Prospect Apparel and have a good one, guys. Enjoy the card.